Millions of travelers are about to get blindsided. Beginning in 2026, airports around the world, including major hubs in the United States, Europe, and Asia, will quietly roll out some of the biggest rule changes air travel has seen in decades. These are not small updates or optional conveniences. They will completely reshape how you check in, pass through security, board your flight, and even prove your identity. Walk into the airport next year without knowing these changes, and you could find yourself stuck in longer lines, paying surprise fees, or getting denied boarding over rules you did not even know existed. So, before 2026 arrives, here are the new airport rules you need to know, because these changes will affect every traveler, every flight, and every trip you take. The ritual of handing your passport to an agent, watching them flip through the pages, and waiting for that familiar stamp is about to become a thing of the past. In 2026, airports across the United States, the United Kingdom, and the European Union are transitioning toward a travel experience driven almost entirely by biometric identity verification. Instead of presenting documents, you will walk up to a camera that instantly scans your face, checks your fingerprints, and pulls up your entire travel profile in seconds. Your face becomes your boarding pass, your passport, and in many cases your customs declaration all at once. For travelers who enjoy speed and convenience, this shift might feel like a dream. But for everyone else, especially those uncomfortable with constant scanning, the change will feel like an ultimatum. Many major airports will no longer offer a true opt-out. The manual verification line will still exist, but it is expected to move at a glacial pace. Once these systems become standard, anyone refusing biometric screening will be pushed into secondary lanes staffed by fewer agents, creating long backlogs and frustrating delays. Europe's new entry-exit system, EES, adds another layer by logging the exact date and location of every traveler from outside the European Union's arrival and departure. Overstays that were once corrected quietly at the airport will now trigger automatic flags in the system. Repeat offenses could lead to entry bans or stricter screening every time you return. The goal is efficiency, but the reality is control. Biometrics simplify travel, but they also eliminate anonymity. Your face will open gates, verify your identity, and track your movement across borders, creating a digital trail unlike anything travel has ever seen. Travelers entering 2026 need to understand this shift clearly. The future of flying is not just digital, it is biometric, automatic, and nearly unavoidable. For years, travelers have gotten away with a little wiggle room, a bag that was slightly too tall, a backpack stuffed just a bit too full, a suitcase a pound or two over the limit. In 2026, those days are officially over. Airlines worldwide are rolling out new digital sizing stations and automated weight scanners designed to eliminate any guesswork and any leniency from carry-on policies. These machines do not eyeball your luggage the way a tired gate agent might. They measure every dimension down to the millimeter, check weight down to the ounce, and instantly issue a pass or fail result. If your bag fails, it is automatically flagged and routed for check-in, often with a steep fee attached. The stricter rules are not just about dimensions. Weight restrictions are becoming stricter too. Several carriers are testing caps between 17 and 20 pounds for overhead luggage, and early data shows the limits will likely be enforced globally within a year. Airlines defend the change as necessary for safety, fuel efficiency, and faster boarding. But the added revenue from forced bag checks and overweight fees does not hurt. Many low-cost airlines are quietly developing fare classes where carry-ons will no longer be included at all. Passengers will be allowed one personal item only, and anything larger will require an add-on fee ranging from $40 to $80 per direction. Even full-service airlines are evaluating similar models, meaning a free overhead carry-on could become a rare privilege. Travelers who do not measure and weigh their bags before leaving home risk unexpected expenses at the airport. A suitcase that once worked dozens of times may suddenly fail a digital scanner with no warning. Smart travelers in 2026 will adapt by using structured underseat bags, compression packing cubes, and portable luggage scales. The era of close enough is over. Precision is the new rule of air travel. Airport security is about to feel unfamiliar, in a good way for some, and confusing for others. In 2026, TSA and airports. Airport security is about to feel unfamiliar, in a good way for some, and confusing for others. In 2026, TSA and airports across Europe and Asia are deploying next-generation CT scanners that can produce incredibly detailed three-dimensional images of everything inside your bag. These machines analyze electronics, liquids, powders, and dense materials without requiring passengers to unpack anything. That means laptops stay in your backpack, toiletries stay inside your suitcase, and full-size liquids, yes, even shampoo bottles, may soon be allowed in many airports. For travelers who have spent years juggling bins, bags, and plastic liquid pouches, the upgrade feels like a massive step forward. But the rollout will be inconsistent. Major hubs like London Heathrow, Amsterdam Schiphol, Atlanta, and Tokyo are adopting these scanners quickly, while smaller regional airports may take years to catch up. That leaves travelers in a tricky position. On one leg of your trip, you may breeze through without removing anything. And on the return flight, you might still be forced to follow the old 3.4-ounce rule and unpack half your bag. This inconsistency has already caused confusion in airports testing the system, and 2026 will magnify that unpredictability. Another important shift comes with footwear. The new scanners can identify threats inside shoes, meaning travelers will increasingly be allowed to keep them on. TSA has already begun soft testing this in select airports. But until older machines are fully retired, you might still encounter checkpoints where shoe removal remains mandatory. The goal is eventually seamless, predictable screening. But 2026 will be a transitional year filled with mixed rules, uneven adoption, and travelers unsure which version of security they are walking into. The smartest approach is to pack with flexibility in mind, keep liquids accessible, and be prepared for both old and new protocols. The future of security is faster, but only once the world catches up. The way you identify, the way you travel through airports is about to undergo one of the biggest transformations in modern travel. By 2026, the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, and several major EU nations will introduce upgraded electronic passports equipped with next-generation security chips. These chips are designed to sync directly with biometric systems, meaning your passport and your face will work together to verify your identity faster than ever. But the real revolution is not the physical passport. It is the digital passport. Airlines and border agencies are testing digital travel credentials that store your verified identity right on your smartphone. In some airports, pilot programs are already underway where travelers check in, clear security, and board a plane without ever pulling out a physical document. You simply look at a camera, your phone syncs in the background, and the system recognizes you instantly. This sounds futuristic, and it is. But it also introduces a new set of risks. Lose your phone, break it, or let the battery die at the wrong moment, and your digital credentials could become inaccessible at the worst possible time. That's why seasoned travelers won't rely on digital identity alone. They will still carry their physical passport, along with printed itineraries, hotel confirmations, and backup copies of key documents stored in secured digital vaults or encrypted apps. Technology can make travel easier, but it also introduces points of failure that never existed before. Digital passports will eventually become the norm, But in 2026, travelers will still need to balance convenience with caution. In other words, embrace digital travel, but never abandon the analog safety net. Air travel in 2026 is not just changing at the security lane, it is changing at checkout too. Airports and governments worldwide are preparing to roll out new taxes, environmental surcharges, and infrastructure fees that will quietly raise the total cost of flying. The challenge for travelers is that these increases are subtle. They will not show up as a bold line item labeled new tax. Instead, they will appear under vague names like aviation sustainability charge, airport facility enhancement, carbon impact fee, or fuel recovery surcharge. These fees are often buried within the final ticket price, and most travelers will not notice they are suddenly paying $20, $40, or even $80 more per flight. The UK has already confirmed that its AIR passenger duty will increase in 2026, especially for long-haul flights. Several EU countries are introducing carbon-based levies aimed at reducing emissions, and early reports suggest the US will follow as part of airport modernization plans. The logic behind these fees is understandable. Airports are upgrading technology, expanding terminals, and transitioning to greener operations, but the cost gets passed straight to the passenger. Savvy travelers will adapt by studying fare breakdowns more carefully. Many booking platforms allow you to expand the taxes and fees section, revealing exactly what you are paying for. Airline credit cards, premium travel cards, and loyalty programs can also soften the blow with statement credits, fee reimbursements, or annual travel allowances. These small financial tools can save frequent flyers hundreds of dollars a year without changing anything about how they travel. The price of flying is rising, and the smartest passengers will learn how to offset it before they ever step foot in the airport. While passengers focus on security lanes and boarding groups, the real revolution in 2026 is happening behind the scenes. Airports are integrating AI-powered luggage tracking systems that automate nearly every step of the baggage journey. From the moment you drop off your suitcase, advanced scanners, conveyor sensors, and robotic routing systems begin analyzing your bag's size, shape, density, and contents. The technology is fast and shockingly accurate. It drastically reduces lost luggage, speeds up check-in, and helps airlines load planes more efficiently. But there is another side to it, one that many travelers will not expect. Automation removes human judgment. If your bag appears suspicious or improperly packed, the system flags it instantly, and there is almost no room for negotiation. Bags containing unapproved batteries, dense electronics, or unidentifiable items may be pulled aside before you even reach your gate. That is especially important for smart luggage. Airlines now require that all smart suitcases have removable batteries, and some airports may ask travelers to demonstrate removal on the spot. If the battery is sealed inside the case, the bag is rejected, period. It does not matter how new or expensive it is. Another major change is real-time luggage tracking that is accessible to passengers. Many airlines are enabling apps that show your bag's location at every step of the trip. It is a welcome improvement, but it also means the system is constantly monitoring and analyzing your luggage from drop-off to arrival. Automation brings speed, efficiency, and accuracy, but it also brings rigidity. Travelers who have not updated their bags or packing habits may find themselves running into technical barriers they never anticipated. The key to navigating 2026 is simple. Pack cleanly, pack smartly, and make sure your luggage is compatible with new automated systems before you arrive at the airport. If you think finding overhead bin space is difficult now, 2026 will take the struggle to a new level. As airlines continue to add more seats to their cabins and push for faster boarding times, overhead bins have become some of the most valuable real estate on the aircraft. To manage the demand and to generate more revenue, many airlines will expand priority boarding programs that give early access to passengers willing to pay extra. For those flying basic economy, The situation worsens. These passengers will board last, which means that by the time they reach their row, overhead bins may already be full. Their bags will be gate-checked whether they want it or not. Some airlines are even exploring new carry-on policies that restrict overhead bin access entirely, unless you purchase a specific fare class. This means your free carry-on could soon cost an additional fee, much like checked bags did a decade ago. The result is a competitive environment where travelers have to strategize just to secure a spot for their luggage. The smartest flyers will pack with this reality in mind. Traveling with someone, coordinate your bags so only one of you carries an overhead-sized suitcase while the other brings a personal item. Flying solo, keep anything valuable, medications, electronics, chargers, and documents in an underseat bag that stays with you, no matter what happens at the gate. Compression cubes can also help fit more into a personal item if overhead bin access becomes restricted. In 2026, overhead space is not guaranteed. It is earned, purchased, or strategically secured through early boarding. Knowing this ahead of time can prevent frustration, unexpected delays, and costly gate check fees. The travelers who adapt quickest will have the smoothest journeys.